Good evening and welcome to Dartmoor National Park, and in this video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about National Parks Week and my latest adventure to photograph some of Britain's national parks. So yes, you find me in Dartmoor National Park this evening, just one of the 15 beautiful national parks we have in this country. And this week, from the 22nd to the 29th of July, is National Parks Week. So across the country in the various different national parks, there'll be a series of events going on to help celebrate the diversity and the amazing natural resource of the national parks. So if you're an outdoor enthusiast or you're into landscape photography, be sure to check out your local national park to see if there's an event going on. So if you want to find out more information about that, I'll include a link to the National Parks website in the video description below. So when I first heard about National Parks Week, it got me thinking to an idea I'd had for one of my photography adventure videos, and that was to go and photograph one of Britain's national parks. Now, I could have quite easily have come to Dartmoor National Park. It's an amazing place. I am so lucky to have Dartmoor on my doorstep, and I've got Exmoor just up the road. But they're all quite close to home, and while I could have had a really good time here, I thought it would be time to photograph a new national park. And then I thought to myself, well, if you're going to photograph one national park, why don't you photograph two? And I thought, if I'm photographing two national parks, I might as well make it three. And because I like a challenge, I thought, why don't I make that 3 different national parks in 3 different countries? And then I thought, well, how long is that going to take me? That sounds like a bit of a logistical challenge. And I thought, well, why not just cram it all into one day? So that's my challenge. I'm going to photograph 3 different national parks in 3 different countries, but in one day. Can I do it? Well, let's find out. Let's cue the driving montage. Hello and welcome to Wales and Snowdonia National Park. So yes, for my first national park, I have come to Snowdonia National Park in Wales, and my God, it is absolutely beautiful. It's been quite a drive to get here. I got up just after 5 o'clock this morning. It's about just under 270 miles and it took me about 5 hours to get here. But that last sort of 60, 70 miles as I was driving through Wales, absolutely stunning. Just look at this weather. It's absolutely picture postcards, blue skies, green hills. I mean, it's just such a beautiful place. I was driving through these windy roads. Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. However, not very good for photography. This is probably the conditions I dislike the most when it comes to landscape photography, and that is I'm shooting in the middle of the day, it's clear blue skies. It's going to be quite difficult for me, but nonetheless I'm excited about shooting here and getting my first photograph. So let's get cracking and get the camera all set up, and I'll talk you through my composition. Right, let's talk about composition. So as I said there, these are challenging conditions, particularly for me. There's absolutely no interest in the sky, so we're probably going to not include too much sky, or not as much as I probably normally would, try and minimise that area. I would have gone down the lakeside as well, but it's quite low. The water levels are very low. Obviously it hasn't rained here for a while, and the rocks are really dry. They don't look very nice. So I've come back up from the lakeside here to around where there's more grasses and flowers and trees and stuff like that. So I'll use that more as my foreground interest. You can still see the lake and you can still see the mountain range, but I'm going to use these elements more in my foreground. So the predominant element in my foreground is going to be this rock, and that's going to lead out. There's going to be a couple of trees, maybe try and get some of those flowers in there as well, and then out into the mountain range. So that's pretty well as basic as it gets. I'll get the camera set up and I'll talk you through how I've got that set up. Okay, camera set up. So today I've obviously got the camera on a tripod, even though the shutter speeds are relatively short. The only filter that I'm going to put on today is my polarizer, but I've got to be really careful here with the polarizer not to over polarize the sky. There is a danger if you turn it all the way up, the sky can go really black, and that can be fine, but because I'm shooting at a wide angle, I don't want to end up with an uneven polarization. It's also taking a little bit of the glare off the water, which is making that deep. So it's just a matter of tuning that polarizer just so I get darken up sky a little bit and the water, but not too much that it looks unnatural. Other than that, it's a fairly simple camera setup, and I'm going to take the shot. So there we have it. I've taken my picture, and unfortunately now I have to leave, which really breaks my heart because it's such a beautiful day there. Those mountains look amazing. It looks like I'd just love to be able to walk up them, but I've got to get on to the next national park. But very much, this has put Snowdonia on my photograph locations map. I really want to come back here when there's some dramatic weather. I mean, the photographic opportunities in this national park must be absolutely endless. But like I say, unfortunately, I've got to go. So it's time to hit the road again and find another national park. Welcome to England and the beautiful Lake District. So welcome to Haweswater in the Lake District. As you can see, I'm still wearing shades. This is not because I'm trying to look cool, it's because it's an absolute scorcher of a day. It was hot in Wales and it's hot here in England. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the car, the temperature's still registering as 30 degrees. So it's absolutely belting conditions here. Really nice for driving about, sightseeing, look at the hills, but not so good for photography. But it is slightly better here for photography than it was in Wales. I have at least got some cloud in the sky to work with. So despite the heat, it's quite nice to stand out here for a change. I mustn't complain too much. I'm going to get the camera set up and I'm going to talk you through what I'm going to shoot here this afternoon. Right, what's my shot going to be this afternoon? Well, we have got the lake there on the left hand side and it snakes around the corner there towards the sort of middle of the frame. I've also got this nice dry stone wall here with the road running along, and that comes along from the right hand side and leads off into the middle where you've got the hills and then the sky where there's a nice bit of, fortunately there's a little bit of cloud in the sky just to make it a bit more interesting. But the reason I've stopped at this spot, I'm quite lucky actually, there's some nice purple flowers here on the ground. Now, I don't know what they're called. I'm not very good at birds and fauna and stuff like that. Perhaps someone could tell me in the comments below. But that's going to give me a nice bit of foreground and just a nice bit of colour, a nice bit of purple to go with the blues and the greens of the rest of the scene. So that's going to play a key part in my composition. So I think I've got all the elements together, and now it's just a matter of setting up the camera to take the shot. Okay, that's me got my picture postcard image of the Lake District National Park. And what a place, it's an absolutely beautiful day. I'm so glad I came here. But it's time to pack the bags up and head to a different country and a different national park. Can you guess where I'm going yet? Well, you won't have to wait long. I'll see you in just a few moments. Good evening and welcome to Scotland and the Trossachs National Park. So yes, for the final national park, I have come back to my homeland, Scotland, and the Trossachs National Park, and what a cracking evening it is. I'm very glad to be here. It's been a long old day. I've driven over 600 miles, about 1,000 kilometres. I've just climbed this hill. This is about another 450 metre ascent, so that was a bit of an effort for the final thing to do today, but I'm so glad I'm up here. The views are absolutely amazing. It's been, like I said, it's been a tough day, I think. My ideas sometimes get the better of me, and I really thought it would be not easy, but I thought I could do 3 national parks from 3 countries in one day, and I have, which is good, but it has been a bit of an effort. So, but I have seen some amazing sights today. It's been absolutely amazing. You know, even though it's not been necessarily great for photographs, just driving about and I've seen lots of places that I've never been to. So it's been a real experience, and you know, it makes you appreciate how lucky you are in Britain, especially as a landscape photographer. We've got so much to photograph. I just wouldn't necessarily recommend you maybe try and do 3 national parks in one day. Certainly not in 3 different countries. But I'm now here at the Trossachs and I'm ready to get my final shot. Let me talk you through what I'm going to do. So what am I going to shoot? So I'm not exactly going to shoot from right where I am. I've actually just come down just from the summit a little bit. The sun is still very bright and it just makes it a little bit easier for me to do the filming just a little bit down here. I'm going to shoot from the top of Ben Ann. Like I say, it's about 450 metres above sea level, and I've got some really nice views down the loch. So I'm going to be shooting from the top of the hill down the loch. I'll include some foreground interest, probably the rocky outcrop at the top. Looks a bit like a mountain actually, and I'll maybe try some longer lens shots as well with the 70s, with the 24 to 70 I should say. So I'm just going to kind of I've got about just over an hour before sunset, so I'm just going to have a walk about the scene, try out some different compositions, but I think that's roughly what I'm going to do. However, I need to keep eyes in the back of my head. I mustn't keep looking towards the sun because I've got cracking 360-degree views around here, so I better watch what's happening behind me sometimes. There's some really nice hills there, wonderful green summer colours in there, and they might go a nice colour, might get some nice colour in the sky in the opposite direction from where the sun sets. So you've got to keep my eyes open. So, but first of all, I'm going to have a rest. I'm going to have a drink of water, maybe something to eat as well, and then I'll get the camera set up. But I'm just going to I probably won't talk much about camera settings. I'm probably just going to crack on with the photography. So I'll speak to you again in a minute. Okay, that's me finished here at Ben Ann on the Trossachs. What a day it's been. It's been absolutely amazing. I've had such a good day. It's been very tiring. And I was so happy to get a really nice sort of sun set there. It was really beautiful. Lots of nice pink colours on the hills. Really, really spectacular. It's such a great place to come in. It's such a short climb as well. It's not only 450 metres from the car park, so 450 metres ascent, I should say, from the car park. But the views you get from up here are absolutely stunning. Just like all the views I've seen today from Wales and Snowdonia National Park and the Lake District as well in England, it's been absolutely brilliant. But I'm absolutely knackered now. It's been a long old day, but a fun day. I'll see you later. So yes, that was it. 3 national parks, 3 different countries, all in one day. What an adventure, what an experience. It was really tiring. I probably spent more time in the car than I did actually at these locations taking photographs, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Wales was definitely challenging. I was already a little bit behind my schedule when I arrived there, so I had to rush my photography just a little bit, but besides, the conditions were really bright, really harsh. But then I got moved on to the Lake District. There's a bit more forgiving there, there's a bit more interest in the clouds, and I got a much more pleasing image. Still quite sort of picture postcard, but gave me a bit more confidence to carry on. And I motored on up to Scotland, where when at the top of Ben Ann, I got an absolutely fantastic sunset. Really enjoyed it up there, and the pictures came out really nice. I'm really happy with the results. So, like I said, I think earlier when I was up at Ben Ann, you know, it was just a great way for me to experience the national parks, but it's probably not something that I would recommend. Maybe take a more leisurely approach, maybe visit 1 national park in a day and take your time, have a look around, take some pictures, and just enjoy everything that our national parks have to offer. Oh, and before I forget, remember to go and check out my blog. So if you want to know exactly where I took those pictures, in a blog article that goes with this video, I've got map locations for each of the images that I took that you've seen in the video, so be sure to go and check that out. There'll be a link for that in the end screen of this video and in the video description below. So some of you may be wondering where I'm doing this video outro from. Well, it's actually another national park. So I did the video intro on Dartmoor, then I travelled up to Snowdonia, then the Lake District, then the Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park. And to finish it all off, I have come to Exmoor National Park, which again is another national park reasonably close to home for me. And this evening I've come to the Valley of the Rocks. It's a spectacular location. Even if you just come in here for a walk or to take landscape images, it's such a spectacular place to come and a great location to finish this video. Well, I do hope this video has inspired you to visit a national park. And remember, it's National Parks Week, running from the 22nd to the 29th of July. There'll be lots of events going on across some of the parks in the country. And if you want to find out more information about that, I've included a link to the National Parks website in the video description below. But even if you don't get out in National Parks Week, remember, there's never a bad time to visit a national park. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do consider hitting that like button, and of course leave me a comment. I really do appreciate it. I do try and read and reply to everyone's comments. And if you did like this video, why not hit that subscribe button? And remember, if you click on that little bell icon as well, you'll receive a notification as soon as I post up a new video. But until the next one, it's goodbye from Exmoor.